Okay, Sinatape Wellness Wednesday. Woo-hoo. Native Wellness Institute welcomes you to Wellness Wednesday. Wouldn't it be funny if it was Thursday or something? I Nistu ni Daniko Makoyo Sakoyi. I am with NWI. Oh gosh, 4 decades. We're an NGO. Last 24 years. Our bottom line is we keep the teachings of our ancestors alive. That's been our whole mission this entire time. Our executive director is Jolene Joseph. We have a large team, and I'm part of that team, and we come to you every Wednesday. I was just, okay, so this is, I live on the Blackfeet Reservation, Nistu Amskapi Pikani, Nistu Siksaketapi Blackfoot Confederacy. And our topic today is what we do for our own mental health. And this is, sorry, my hair is shaggy, probably a little bit greasy, but it's okay. This is, we have to wear orange. I'm out, this is where I live on this lake. Right in back of me that's Divide Mountain. And then just to the south of Divide Mountain going west is Triple Divide. And on the other side, is Canada. So we're one of those confederacies. Siksikai Kainai, Batsapikani, and Amskapi Pikani. We call it the medicine line, but there's a border. And all the laws are different. Kilometers. You say mum, we say mom. You say process, we say process. You say film, we say film. You go in meters, we do yards. But what they have in common is Blackfoot. Blackfoot Indians have always lived here, and the Tsitapi have always lived here. So I was just doing my mental health, and I didn't want to hurry. So bushy head, maybe a little bit greasy, but only the badass auntie. I was laughing at myself because only the badass auntie puts on lipstick to go for a walk. It's like, just like autumn. It's the only makeup I ever wear, and I was laughing to myself like, yeah, the birds can see me, and there's animals, and they don't care if I have lipstick. They don't care if I have long eyelashes that a bird can land on. Eh? Anyhow, welcome to Wellness Wednesday, Native Wellness Institute. And I just want to, we're allying. Our alliance got thicker with the unspoken word. With Bear Don't Walk, Josiah Hugs, and our Siksikai brother. They do a radio. I think it's on Spotify, and we're allying with them because they're talking about the same stuff. It's how with humor, wicked humor. We like crows have wicked humor. I love crows because they have wicked humor. Anyway, they crack me up because they have all these sound effects, and when they were doing interviews at the White Bison gathering, oh man, that gathering was awesome. It was just filled our cups back up with recovery, with all of the addictions. Every addiction was there, except being a bad Republican. Eh? That addiction wasn't there. Nobody's recovering. They're all Democrats. No. We won't talk politics, but because of mental health. Woo! I tell you, I'll just, I wanted to visit with you about mental health because last night I was doing a lot of, invoices, turned in my taxes that are due October 15th, all that kind of stuff. And my mental health was telling me I should watch the debate. And I'd be really curious, you know, in the comments if you watched it. And I was really glad I did, because I felt my mental health was more even balanced after I saw healthy dialogue and you got to see people for being transparent. And that, so we'll start off with that. Your mental health is better when you can see people that are transparent. Your mental health gets confused and gets, you know, it hurts your heart. All kinds of stuff start to happen when people lie to you, are deceptive, are grooming you, are manipulating you, and all those kind of not so good things that some of us humans, and it might be a character defect, you know, manipulation, you know, trying to get people like to like you, you know, that kind of manipulation. But mental health, if you hang around people that are transparent, you know, and just do yourself, you know, we call it be your authentic self, your true authentic self. Unless you're really batty or crazy, then don't be your authentic self. No, I'm just kidding. When you are your true, transparent, rigorously honest self to individuals, I think that brings good mental health. It's kind of like, you know, one of so the stories I always see how grown over 40 or over 30 grown people act with children and how they act with animals, and even their tone of voice. I mean, you get to see people's authentic self. You know, I love when, you know, you got a big old strong voice and there's a little chihuahua, and then you go, "Hi, little chihuahua." Your little sweetness comes out. Or, you know, say you got a gruff voice and you see a brand new baby, and then you just go, "Oh, precious, oh, precious." You know, when we use that voice of compassion, of unconditional love, of communication, like how we do with a young baby or with animals, or I was even thinking about how, you know, I right here, my house is it's about a mile down that way. And this year I have a family of pet skunks. I got a pregnant skunk, and I haven't seen the little bitty babies, but they're like little. But the teenage skunks, and I think this is her other set of, anyway, that I got 2 teenage skunks and a big old mama skunk. That's my low maintenance pets. And then I have my foxes that have been coming for, you know, gosh, it's been over 15 years. I'll have to go back and look at the pictures. Ooh, the wind is picking up here. And you could sail a sailboat on this lake. When you use that voice, what is your authentic voice? You know, what is your soothing voice? What is your self-talk? So let's talk about mental health. Woo, if it starts, one time this roof blew off. These are my friends down the way, and they're only here in the summer. So I always used to do my Zooms with essential workers during the pandemic right here. So I got good Wi-Fi. So I thought I would just pull over and do Wellness Wednesday Power Hour. And anyway, just so this authentic voice, this authentic self, using it for mental health. And so we'll start with, this wind is picking up here. Might have to do plan B. I won't jump in the water with you. You won't get wet. But I'm just like, okay, the wind is starting to pick up here. Trees go down. They were saying between 50 and 70 mile an hour gusts. will blow all the leaves off, you know, and we're kind of, it truly is fall here. But let's talk about the mental health the talk that you say to yourself. First thing when you wake up in the morning, one strong suggestion is to grab the dream that you had. Like last night, I was dreaming, and it was like a person, but it was like also it was like wrapped in cloth, and I think it was female, but it was like a Rhonda something. It kept showing itself, and like it was almost coming down a walkway or a runway, but it was like a good visit. So self-talk, you know, when you first waking up in the morning, try this. Help me remember my dreams. Let me go over what I dreamt. And that was this morning, is I just said, Ishtabatapiyo, please help me to remember my dreams if it's giving me a message, if I need to pay attention to this dream. And sure enough, I caught it, but what I do is immediately get up and draw it. And I draw it in, on the left-hand side of the page, I draw my dream, or I record my dream. And then on the right side is coloring. And today it was like a big owl. So I can color so that I'm doing, because when I color, one of the mental health things that I've done all my life, from childhood till now, and I don't know what makes me want to cry, is I've always colored. You know, I love coloring, and I found these beautiful pens that are like brushes. So you can do really fun, they're kind of like the brush that you would put makeup on with, but I color. And I do that in the morning because it brings me to this really peaceful, calm space. And self-care and waking up and is to wake up peaceful and calm. Whether you're sleeping with someone or you have a giant household, because I was just saying, gee, some of my relatives, you know, they got 20 people living in the house. Some of them they don't know. Just kidding. They just met him last night. Oh my God. But some, I'm an elder at this point. I've raised all the children I'm gonna raise. I've taken care of all the, except for, you know, maybe taking care of my mom. But my mom, she don't need no taking care of. She takes care of herself. This is the first time in my life that I'm not taking care of anybody or anything, and I'm getting used to it, where like I fix what I want to eat, I watch what I want on television. Now I'm redecorating my house and cleaning. I'm decluttering not only the house. You know, one of the things at the White Bison, so I'm gonna, you know, the White Bison gave all of us a jump start in Billings, and the Rocky Mountain Tribal Chairman's Council, and then there was Native Dads Network was there, and then NWI was there. We were really not competing but cooperating with each other, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful, because there was a lot that came from Bainbridge, our Healing Together conference that was hosted by NWI. Even one of the friends there, I just love it. She said, I was going to come to this no matter what, so I just charged it on my credit card. I just thought, that is so cool. Charging your mental health on your credit cards instead of buying 36 gifts for everybody for Christmas. Hey, maybe you should charge up some mental health on your credit cards and tell everyone wait till next year, eh? Because how much do we spend on Halloween? Oh, Halloween's my sacred favorite holiday. I'm gonna dry clean my Bigfoot outfit, go out and have, you know, just have a really good time. I just love making videos in had get my friend Teresa or Alan Morgan and make some videos out in the wild wearing the Bigfoot outfit. But we look how much we spend on Halloween. Look how much we spend on back to school clothes. Look how much we spend on Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm really looking. This is the first Thanksgiving that my mother has requested we all go and visit brother. And so it's in the making, you know, how we're all going to come together and just spend time together. And I think, you know, even for Thanksgiving and Christmas, those are American holidays or some of the world holidays, but it's family time. So, but think of all the money you spend and you charge, especially since we're overspending after the pandemic. I just realized for a long time I wasn't buying nothing because I became so aware during the pandemic that I didn't need much. I didn't need much to be happy. I didn't need much. And now, and then once you start spending, whoo, you start spending. If you have it, you know, so think about that self-talk for mental health. When you're waking up, telling yourself, even before you go to sleep, when you smudge, say, help me to remember my dreams if there's a message. Because sometimes our subconscious, you know, when we're dreaming, it's our subconscious gets to come out and we dream about people. We dream about, you know, I was just thinking, like, my mother yesterday was the 1964 flood. This when Jeannie Whiting got her stand-up headdress. We went by Swift Dam, and I hadn't been there. I hadn't been with the dam that broke open and caused the flood and killed a lot of our relatives, Sammy Newbreast Jr. and Ethel. When we went there, it was healing, and my mom had this dream. Like the night before we went there, she had a dream of Sammy and Ethel because they both perished with their, she was pregnant and they had a young baby that had measles in the back room. And they had went back, all the kids went up on the hill and they forgot the baby with the measles in the panic, and he ran back down and went in to get the baby, and he was taking too long, and so she came down. And when they both came out, the kids seen the water take them. But my mother had this beautiful dream the night before when we went to that dam, that she said Sammy and Ethel, they were young and vibrant, and Sammy was holding Patty, that's the baby's name, and they smiled at her, like to let her know that everything's okay and that they're together. Because we never did find Ethel's body or Patty's. We did find the body of Sammy. So, and then they kind of smiled and they were holding each other and they walked off into the clouds. They walked off into the clouds together. So that was a healing dream. And so my sister Lori and my mom went to that same place day before yesterday, and it just made me feel like we're healing from those traumas so think about that when you're doing the self-talk. If there's a place that you avoid, like where your ex lives or all of your exes, and you don't go there, you drive way around, maybe you should go there, and maybe you need to recreate your mental health and your happiness and your gleeful and your good ways. Go there and create good memories. You know, if you had a bad memory, you know, in Gallup, New Mexico, then go back there and make a good memory. If you had a bad memory in South Lake Tahoe, Nevada, or California, go back there and make a good memory. If you had a bad memory of any location or with people, I would say there was this coming together with White Bison. Some of us hadn't seen each other since the pandemic, and some of us haven't seen each other in 10 years. And then some of us just saw each other last week. Yeah, you, Dwight. Anyway, when you come together like that, you have an opportunity for mental health. If you need to make amends, sometimes just to go up to someone and say, God, it's really good to see you. I'm really glad to see you, and give them a hug. I never saw so much hugging between these couple of hundred people, and it was not romantic snagging. Oh, there might have been a couple of those, but but it was everybody hugging each other. And sometimes just to hug is forgiveness. Sometimes just to acknowledge each other and express encouragement or appreciation is forgiveness. Sometimes when you see someone, especially, like your relatives that pretend they don't see you or they ignore you, that is so childish. Acknowledge people, shake their hand, even if it's just to shake their hand. Just like, protocol, there was a drum and it was so beautiful. Like Billy LeBeau was there. There was all of these singers. It's good just to go over and shake everyone in the circle around the drum. Man, just shake their hand and just say, man, thank you. You're singing and you're just making me feel so good. I just want to shake your hand. Say that to everybody. You're making me feel so good. I just want to shake your hand and I want to give you a hug. And then just give them a big old hug. So that is mental health. The other, I was, a lot of times, there was a lot of talk in some of the stories about body image. Accepting our bodies for what they are. And Harold Belmont, he used to always say, man, a good Indian woman has buffalo hips and antelope legs. So what if we're not all like shaped like Europeans, we got love handles. If you got love handles, love your handles. Let somebody else love those handles. But if you got 6 love handles, get rid of 2. You'll still have 4. So this body, it's interesting because I've heard Two-Spirit LGBTQ say it, and I've heard women say it. Body image. So mental health. I guess men do too. I'm not going to broad stroke judge men. I mean, there was buffed. I mean, when you go to jail and you go to prison, what do? You get good body image. Because you have to defend yourself. You can't be all wimpy and have 4, love handles. 5 love handles. Lumpy love handles. Anyway, so so just that for mental health. What about if you accept your whole body as it is? And even, one of the healthiest things that you can do, now don't scream or don't be scared, is just by yourself, stand in front of the mirror. By yourself, naked. Stand in front of the mirror and practice. You can start from the bottom and just say, thank you, toes, for being wonderful toes all my life. Thank you, ankle, for carrying me everywhere. Thank you, my calves. Thank you, my knees. And then go all the way up your body. And then go inside. One of the self-talk things that I always say is, and we always, in Blackfoot, when we hear something good, we grab it and we bring it to our heart. When they'll say, hi, o ninna, spomukana, kami poismanik, stand up. If that's you, you grab it and you put it in your heart. So the self-talk. Tell your heart, thank you for beating and carrying the blood throughout my body, starting from, I think it's around day 26 when the sperm and the egg meet 26 days later. Boop, 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 boop. You have a heartbeat. Thank your heart for beating ever since that moment. Like right now, I think about it, I hear this water, and I was walking fast because in the wintertime you have to be in better shape because some things go on then where you just can't be too wimpy, eh? So I was walking really fast and I said to myself, Theta, you're getting older. Slow down, stop for a minute. Let your heart settle. And then I always think of Thosh. Thosh always says, breathe in, 4, hold it, 4, breathe out of your mouth. And that mental health where you're calming and where you're taking care of yourself, thanking your. So I was just laughing because I was going along here going, thank you, pancreas. Hey, thank you, liver. Thank you, kidney, for processing everything and letting me take a poop or pee and get rid of the excess. You know, this movement, it keeps everything moving. That mental health. And I'll have to confess to you, when I couldn't exercise, when I had the surgery on my face, that first 2 or 3, by the 3rd week when I couldn't exercise, I could feel my mental health was not at its prime. I could feel that my mental health, there was a deflation. And so get some movement, talk to your body, talk to your legs, talk to talk in this mental health. Mental health. Oh my gosh. Talking to ourselves. And so what happened at the White Bison, and I just have to share with you, is they had several workshops that were just, all the workshops were great because they were about recovery. They were about taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. But they had this one Seminole lady, Mikasuki, and she laid you back like you were going to get a massage, and she did a conscious energy flow from the back of your spinal cord to different parts of your cranial. And I swear, when I had her do this to me, and she was at a certain part, she was cleansing me, and she got to this one part, and my entire arm just went, and the side of my legs went. It's like I told her I felt like I needed to go like this, and she goes, there's some things, especially, if you're a healer and you work in the helping field, and if you hear trauma, or you hear stories, or you hear these emotions, you need to clean yourself off. So that mental health, but her session brought me to a place of peace. She said most people fall asleep. I did not fall asleep. And her voice was so soothing. And she talked about, we were visiting around cleaning the house and decluttering. And we got on the subject, and she just said to me, Theta, I think there's other things you need to declutter. What do you think they are? And boom, I just said, I think I need to declutter some people. You know how they say people, places, and things? If someone doesn't give you good energy, or someone doesn't boost you, or someone doesn't encourage you or make you feel good, their energy, they're exhausting, don't go around them. Declutter. So and this gets emotional. I said, I have to start with simple things, like I think I need to delete some people on my Facebook. And so I went through, because I have a really hard time with my friends that have passed or that died. Cookie Rose, it's been over 10 years. And every time I go to try to delete her, I can't. And I look at the pictures, and I can't. But there was some others that it has been a couple of years. It's been some time. And I'll see them on the other side, when we go to the Sand Hills, or we call it the Big Sandy. I'll see them again, Kitakita Matsuno, I'll see you again. So I deleted them. But what I did is I accepted a friendship of all these young people that I met last week. what a healing process of letting go, of letting go. Mental health is when you have to just let things go. I'm going to see them again, but for now I'm going to let them go. And I'm going to accept the friendship of all these young people I met. You know, like Ty. He's only 19 years old and really just grabbing on and holding on to his recovery. You know, there was just so many vivacious people in recovery. You know, and I always, I know this is backwards, but we do recover. This came from Anishinaabeg people. This is one in the wintertime. It's just one of my favorite things to wear, because while I'm walking in the woods and my mental health, and while I'm going along, I do gratitude lists. Like today, I was walking along and I lost my dog, Ocon Ironpipe, of 16 and a half years. But I also had Sam Ironpipe. For 15 years, he was a full Carillion. I had Abby Bullshoe for almost 9 years. I had a Nuxkamapi Old Crow for 11 years. I started doing this gratitude list. Even I had a dog named Noppy. And I got him cremated. I carried his ashes when I moved to South Dakota. When I moved back to Montana. And then finally, I buried his ashes behind my house. They're all, my animals are buried close to the house. Sam's buried up here because we had him cremated, and this was his favorite place to walk. He knew this. He was wild. He would never come in the house. He slept outside in the igloo. So when I was walking along, and this is just the mental health, my gratitude list, and it's unresolved grief, but I just said, Ishtapatapi. Nagakimokit, nagaspumokit, pity me, but thank you for letting me have that Sam that long. Thank you for letting me have Ocon that long. And then I started going to people. Thank you for my friends that I knew, that we learned so much from each other, and then they passed. And then I started, my newest friends. I made some really good friends just last week. Are my newest friends that we renewed. So I just started saying thank you for, thank you Dwight, thank you Mike Duncan, thank you Albert Titman, thank you Cheryl Whitehawk, thank you. Next thing, thank you Billy LeBeau, thank you all of the Lame Deer girls, thank you everyone that I had met. I was just like, oh my God, I am rich. I am so rich with connections. Everyone kept saying, what's the answer to addiction? Connection. That's the mental health. And so as I was coming up here, and I guess, I still, when I'm healing, I have to cry. And then I let it go and I embrace it. And so that is mental health. There was a time, with my work and with myself, I couldn't cry. Because that's survival mode, trauma face. Trying to have trauma face. Poker face. That's trauma face. When our mental health, when we can let things go, and when we can grab and embrace our gratitude list, just express, it's just heavy on my heart right now. I have 2 relatives, and they're married, and they have a giant family. And 2 days ago, their house with everything in it burnt down. And they might be coming home tonight or tomorrow, but I just saw our entire community wrap around this event, a GoFund that went from 10,000 to 30,000, and then the hot shots, the fire, everyone came to assist. And I was thinking to myself, yes, that is tragic. Yes, that is horrible for your house to burn down with everything. Talk about a super letting go. But look what has come out of it is I'm so proud of our community. You know, even someone getting on the GoFund and giving $5 or getting on the GoFund and giving $20 are saying, what size, what kind of clothes do you need, what size, and then everybody's contributing because they have nothing. So I have a heavy heart just for them, my empathy, because I love them so dearly, because of how much they've helped our tribe, they've helped me personally. Naltewa Pisaki is the one who always paints me and cleans me off. And it was kind of one of my good thoughts of gratitude. She has some big aniscum. And I thought to myself, those wouldn't burn in the fire. Maybe they're just sitting there waiting for when they come back and they're going to find those aniscum and have a new beginning. What if you have nothing and you just start with a pipe bowl? Or what if you have nothing and you just start with your favorite rock? What if you have nothing and you just start with rinsing off in this water? What if you have nothing and you just sit and look at the beautiful colors? There's just so much color right now, the orange and the yellow. It just gives good mental health. What else gives good mental health? And this is, something for this hour. We come to you to give you positive, productive, and proactive thoughts about how you take care of yourself. And I reflect so much because I see the mental health in some of my family, some of my work, where the mental health, it just sends out a different vibration when it's not in a good place. I really like in Northern Cheyenne, they had a run of someone they lost in 2021 to suicide. So the way that the mental health that they've done is they have a run every annual, and they remember that person. So think about in your mental health, because we're just out of the pandemic. Who else do you have to memorialize or celebrate and talk about their legacy? Who else do we in our arenas do we have to lift up and hold up as like an ambassador for our people, that is showing the way in which we can express well-briety, wellness and sobriety coming together and being well-briety. The good thing there is there was I didn't see no judgment. There was people there who were trying to get over gambling addictions. There was people there who embraced and loved Narcotics Anonymous, NA. There was AA, of course, but there was also individuals who were adult children of alcoholic in healing, or CODA, or were a member of NANACOA. There was all of these addictions to anxiety. Oh my God, how could anxiety? Come here, let's have an intimate relationship. Oh my God. Or you don't have a choice. Might be something in the brain chemistry. Might be something where, you know how us addicts are. We always get clunked in the head, or at least I did. See all my lumps? Anyway, you know, this when we begin to accept, let's go back to that body image. When we begin to accept who we are with all the scars, all the love handles, all of the ways that we are, and enjoy it. Accept who you are. Accept your health. And if something's not so good, change it. I have a very good friend named Timothy, and he was just pointing out that I'm always talking about healthy food. And, you know, non-gluten and sourdough and protein. And so then I said, he was making a humor out of it, and I thought, I shouldn't push that on him. You know, if he wants to eat fried bread or he wants to eat other stuff that aren't our portions, that's up to him. But I was also thinking, my mental health, when I'm eating healthier, I am mentally stronger. I am mentally fortified. And I could tell, like, eating too much sugar, my downfall is like licorice. Or when I eat too much sugar, I always check in, and mental health is to check in with yourself. And I apologize. I go, ooh, that was too much sugar, because I was driving and I was eating all this licorice. And that was too much sugar to be put in without running some of it off, and I could feel it. So I apologized. So then I experiment, like I only can have so many pieces. But that's kind of like, you know, oh, I only can have one drink, huh? We try to fool ourselves, eh? But just think about the mental health. You are what you eat. I have some tamales. They were frozen. I heated them up, so after I'm done, I get to go back and have really good tamales. And I love the corn, and I just love and so I thought, whoo, today I was hiking for about an hour and a half, and then I just decided, man, I just got to do the Wellness Wednesday out here, because this is my mental health. And today is kind of a day off. We're getting prepared, and so I invite all of you on the Alberta side. We're going to meet in Lethbridge. So some people are heading there. I'm going to bring my mom, because my mom is turning 86 years old, and this is part of her birthday week. We're going to go up to Lethbridge and just kind of enjoy ourselves. And on the 4th, starting at City Hall in Lethbridge, I think it's the 19th annual Missing and Murdered Sisterhood Candlelight Vigil. And so from the City Hall all the way to Galt Park, there's a park where they hang red dresses and red shirts all along the walk. And the Kami Poismanics, the Stand-Up Headdress Society, is all coming. The ones that can make it, everyone's going to be there. And this is, you know, it'd be so awesome, because we have a young drum group. They're all young Blackfoot females, and they sing, and then our men come and sing, and then we march down and we say prayers and we sing songs that there's no more missing, murdered Indigenous women and girls. So you're invited to that. That's October 4th. And so tomorrow I'll, because we're with our mother, we like to gently travel with her. It's like, you know, not like our harsh travel. You know, get up at 3 a.m. and go all day. No, Mom. Homie, don't do that. Anyway, you're invited to that. You know, and I want to ask special prayers, because there was some, as people returned from Billings and returned from this great event, we had a loss of life among our team. Ask prayers, because, you know, and just like this elderly couple, Natuwa, Pisaki, and John, they haven't come home to see how their home is gone. We might come home. What is mental health? Is to surround yourself with people who love you. Bottom line, surround yourself with people who appreciate you. Surround yourself with people who encourage you. Surround yourself with people who listen to you. Surround yourself with people who you have like minds. Surround yourself with people who have a vision. There was one workshop that was just so beautiful, and it was about having a vision for yourself and then breaking down the little baby steps. You know, the vision maybe to own your own home, the vision maybe to travel somewhere where you have never traveled, a vision for your career, a vision for yourself, a vision for, and some of it I just started drawing like a medicine wheel. And I really, because this medicine wheel where we release these 46 buffalo is such a powerful, it's at the base of Nenastico Chief Mountain. And I always go up there. I went up there night before last, and before we knew, some of the people asked for prayers, and I had a rock that at the Billings Hotel in Billings, I used this rock, and I would put a smudge on top of it. And then when I was leaving, I asked the rock, would you like to come home and be on a medicine wheel? And it's like the rock said, hell yeah. Anyway, I took it and I brought it. So as soon as I got home, I smudged it and I drove it up to Chief Mountain, and I made a prayer, and everyone had, because a lot of people message me, and I take it seriously. I say prayers for them, or they ask for prayers. And so I went up and I just spent some time, and I put this rock, and I said, I introduced it to the other rocks, you know, Okotoks, Natus Okotoks, holy rocks. And I thought, wow. And then I prayed for everyone that was at the gathering at White Bison and Rocky Mountain Tribal Chairman's Council. And I put the rock there, and I swear it was like the medicine wheel is large, and there's offerings there, but it was like it just took this rock and embraced it. And from a mental health perspective, I asked that everybody who was at that gathering have long, healthy lives. So maybe you could begin with that in your mental health. When you see someone, and you don't have to necessarily agree with them, just pray that they have a long, healthy life, because there's transformation and we can all change. If someone's an a-hole now, 5 years from now, they might not be an a-hole, but they might. No. There's transformation for good. Pray that people have a long, healthy life, and then let it go. So I put that rock down, and in my mind I could just see, you know, unspoken word. I could see the Wellbriety meditations. I could see Katari and White Bison. She has a really good staff. They did an excellent job. I could just see people's faces and their well-being. And so as when I put the rock there, they're all going to have a long, healthy life. And so today, you know, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. This is Native Wellness Institute. We come to you every week. We put a shout out. Listen to Mike Duncan. He's on every Tuesday morning. I've been listening to him 90% of the time for the last 3 years. Boy, does it start my day off good. So I hope that I've said something that can help you in this Power Hour and this Wellness Wednesday, for you to think about your own mental health. And as we move into the fall, you know, make sure you're ready for winter. Because here, I was thinking, yeah, I got enough wood, I got my propane. It's supposed to be nice for, you know, another week. But at any moment, start blizzarding. Anyway, just so Wellness Wednesday, we come here every week, and so I'm going to leave you with just a couple of short stories on mental health. it's a story of because of sleeping good sleep hygiene, and not worrying. Giving up on the worrying. Because if you're praying, you can't worry. So just to sleep good. And last night, boy, having that dream about that being, I drew it, and I want to say like it had a name, but it had like white cloth around it, and I believe it was a female, but it was like coming towards me, like giving a blessing. And this so the story that I want to share with you is about dreaming and astral traveling. Last night I felt like I traveled, and that's when I go to sleep. I ask special prayers for like John and Carol with their house burning down. I ask special prayers for Albert Titman. I ask special prayers for Ty. I ask several people for Dwight and losing his cousin. I ask special prayers for this group that we're going to meet in Lethbridge. And and then when I go to sleep, I feel like I travel there. I feel like I travel, and so when I woke up, gosh, I slept like 8.5 hours. And when I woke up, I just felt so mentally serene. So try that, and and don't be sleep deprived. The other story that I'd like to share with you is, and I mentioned it earlier, is do something for those that you have lost. Give some kind of symbolic to their legacy, whatever their legacy is. I had overwhelming thoughts of Wanda and Harold Frog. They were a couple that really helped me, especially in the late 70s and the early 80s. They were just like my go-to. And they had met at an AA meeting, and they were just like, they grandfathered me. Harold Belmont grandfathered me. Wilma Mankiller was my auntie. Cecilia Firethunder. If whatever their legacy is, invest in it, like for your mental health. Invest in keeping their legacy alive. And I'm going to grab this because check out this wind. I'll just give you a bird's eye view. Look at the water. The water is clean here, but the wind is really blowing. I'm just gonna walk you out to the water. I hike over here. My house is down that way, but I hike here almost every day the past 30 years, except when it's blizzarding and snowing. And I hope you can hear me. This is my mental health. Being out in nature, this is my mental health. I swim in this water when it's warm. This is my mental health. And so I'm going to ask you to go take a walk. Take a walk with a member of your family and hold hands. Take a walk with your dog. And I don't think your cat. I see very few cats aren't leash on leashes. But look at this. And so I guess I'm gonna kind of wind down. Look at this water. Woo! I'm really Kitsikakomim. That means I love you. I love all of you, and I'm glad that I got to just have a visit with you about your mental health, and that I got to show you some of my mental health. I really appreciate you, and it's getting closer and closer to me confirming being casted in a film about the 60s scoop. I'll be happening at the end of the month here, and I'm really, say prayers for me, because it's going to be a healing film. And then my sister Lori and I are going to take we're going to work, but it's a trip to Montreal with all the provincial leadership. Oh, did I just see I want to make sure that there's a lot of eagles around here, but I see shadows, and I almost want to. There's a golden eagle. There's a pair of bald eagles. It's too rough right now, but there's a lot of loons here. We have a lot of real busy beavers. It's just that time, you know, as the season is changing. It feels like the ocean, and you know, the ions that come off the water, they cleanse you. That's mental health. It gives you a cleaning. So I'm just gonna let you go. So welcome to Native Wellness Institute's Wellness Wednesday, and with that, we'll see you next Wednesday. I love you, and I'm glad we got to spend some time together. Kita kito mansino.